buddy Keith, aka Gator Guy 231. It's Friday, August 7th, and the Champions League is back. Biggest European competition, one of the biggest football competitions in all the world. Couldn't be more excited. We have a very interesting slate to go over, so we're going to jump right into that now. Just a quick reminder, please, if you are enjoying the videos on this FSI channel, hit the subscribe button at the bottom right. Helps us so very much, and we thank you for that subscription. And if you are interested in more soccer coverage, a little bit more on terms of who to build around and your picks after lineups are up, hit the details in the bottom. Jump on board with the FSI soccer subscription. A couple different ways to get in. Alrighty, let's get into the games. And if you couldn't tell from the cover, it is Champions League. Ronaldo is down, so this is a Ronaldo day. If you do not think it's a Ronaldo day, find my head-to-heads. I cannot wait. So we talked about this last few days in Europa. Let's make sure that we talk about it now in Champions League. So the aggregate is massive, and even more massive today than ever, because I think if you didn't know that, you might flock to City. And I don't necessarily know that that is the right way to go at all. So, other note, these are still playing at the home stadiums. I don't really understand what UEFA is doing. I thought that, we're going to bubble the teams. I forgot that, the second legs are still going to play in the teams. So whatever. I don't know if I read the news wrong. I think that they're all headed to a bubble after this. Anyhow, so we do have a game in Italy, although I don't believe it's in Turin. No, it isn't in Turin. I don't know why I said that. So yeah. So Lyon is going to Juve. Juve is down 1-0 in aggregate, meaning Juve to advance needs to likely score at least one, likely two, and for the safety 3, because of the away goals. And then on Real Madrid is traveling to the Etihad to play City. They are down 2-1, so they need at least 2 goals. Here to move on, because City already has 2 away. So a lot to play for. Stoked to see it. Juve is the biggest favorite, -183. And then Man City is a solid favorite at -149. So let's talk about the lineups and what we look for. And I think that Juve is the team that I want to figure out first and build my lineups around, because they are chasing, and because honestly, they should sweep the floor with Lyon. The previous matchup was kind of, in my opinion, a little just fluky. Juve had 64% of the possession, took 14 shots, got none of them on target. The first half, they looked absolutely flat. The second half was much better. And, the other thing with Lyon, the French league called off the season so early before all these other leagues, and the coronavirus kind of got a little bit managed in these countries. So they've just been playing friendlies, and then they had their cup competition versus PSG. But, and Juve had the end of the season, which, I just think that you cannot replace the real life games. We've seen that with both of the German clubs. The last 2 days in the Europa League competition, looking a little rusty. So I do think, even though Lyon is getting to play some games, that Juve is going to come in and kind of throttle them. And that's why the first guy in all my lineups will be Ronaldo. We've seen what Ronaldo has done his entire career in the Champions League. This is the competition that he, at this point is built for, and why he is in Juve is to win them a Champions League. Last year versus Atletico, single-handedly brought Juve back. I think he's going to try to do the same thing here versus Lyon, so he'll be in every lineup. The big thing I want to watch is Paulo Dybal. End of the season, he was injured in Serie A. So he has been, honestly, since the restart, the most important player for Juve. So if he's in, I think he might come in under-owned, with everybody trying to go to KDB and then maybe a Real Madrid piece or a second City piece. So I would really like to see Dybala in. Would take his share of corners, normally a split with Pjanic, but playing this false 9, number 10 role in the Sarri system just has him with tons of opportunities to score. And I think he, like a Dybala and Ronaldo stack would be awesome to me. If Higuain is in over Dybala, like they're not a like swap. I think Higuain is more GPP. And then Bernardeschi, is what I've seen predicted on the right as well. If Dybala was not in, I would be interested. He may take a few over Pjanic, but Pjanic would take most. But just more offense can flow through him. When Dybala and Ronaldo both are on the pitch, like everything is going through the two of them. So Bernardeschi is not getting like the ample opportunities. The other thing to watch, if for some reason we really see like a shakeup in lineup, after like 2.5 years of having Juan Cuadrado as a MF on DraftKings, they finally have made him defender eligible. So it would be funny as hell if he was actually playing up as like a right wing at 6,100 and he's defender eligible. So watch that. He's still actually very in play now that his price is finally in check. Like Serie A slates, he would be like 7-8K. You just can't pay that for a right back. But 6,100, while he's the most expensive defender on the slate, I think he's very fine play as part of a stack, just with how attacking minded he is. On Pjanic, I mentioned him twice already. So here would be my take. If there's no Dybala, Pjanic would be a lock. I think he would move to almost all the sets for Juve. Yeah, and his price is like, I think it's like 5,400. I'll pull it up while we're talking. But if Dybala is not in, I think Pjanic is very fadeable. I also think like it's fine if you have him in your lineup. Like I wouldn't like mock somebody and go, what the hell are they doing? I just don't think he's like a necessity for Classic. Probably in Showdown, because you only have one game to pick from. You do it. And he is, 5,200. So he's a great price. Even though like I'm not in love with him, that price alone might put me on him. The rest of you guys just in play. Sandro is fine. One just thing to note tactically. Sandro, when Blaise Matuidi is in, and you see like a midfield like this, he can get forward a lot more because Matuidi and Bentancur do a lot of defensive work. When it's like Rabiot and Ramsey, he has to be pinned back a lot more defending. So, just watch that. I do think it should be Blaise. I think, once, the guys that he trusts to do the most work out there. So that would open up Sandro as more playable than if like this was Rabiot or Aaron Ramsey. On the Lyon side of things, I think everybody's more GPP oriented. The one that you could argue for cash is Memphis Depay. He is back. He's been playing the friendlies. He's only 7,900. It's been awesome, the whole Ligue 1 slate and our season and the Champions League. So he is 1,000% in play. I just think I want Juve pieces. I'm expecting Juve to take most of the possession and be pushing for the goals. So I think I would prefer my salary spent there. But again, if you showed up, you decided that second forward, there's no Dybala in, you aren't crazy about Bernardeschi, you look in City, and Real Madrid and just like, I don't love anything and you want to go to Depay, like you're not crazy. The rest, I literally think it's GPP. I don't want to spend any time on it. Dembele, Toko and Bobby, like kind of goal or bust on all of them. And the fullbacks aren't even that great of plays. All right, City versus Real Madrid. Obviously, two of the biggest clubs in the world. City, this truly is a must-win for them after the Premier League flame out. Like they just have to win. Like the Pep, I could say more. They just have to win. Like City has to advance. In their mind, like this season will be a complete waste if they do not win the Champions League. Mendy, I believe, is out, is what I've seen. So we should see João Cancelo playing left back. Been playing very well for them at left back. So, while I don't think I necessarily am going to target him because I don't know he's going to be bombing forward with City already up 2-1, he is a fine play. So for City, from a cash perspective, it's hard not to just go ahead and just lock in KDB. The one hesitation I have on just a pure, like, I don't think there's any way I'm fading him in cash, okay? But in GPP, I think that there's some merit to thinking that, this is not like the City's going to be having like 15 corner game and they're just bombing shots. I think that there's going to be a little bit more of a pragmatic approach. Now, City still defends by attacking and by possession, but KDB doesn't have to be looping in tons of crosses for them to still attack and for them to possess. And honestly, crosses are where they can lose possession. So, I think that his floor could be a little bit lower than the normal KDB we have, but look, like still probably like 13 or 14 if I'm making an honest projection. So still very much in play. Still probably close to a cash lock, but I think in GPPs, I kind of like the fade. Especially if Mahrez is in, they split set pieces. KDB does not take those end swingers, so that lowers the floor a little bit more. Sterling, Jesus, and Mahrez are all fine. Like, when I draw my little formation diagrams, they're probably all going to be like cash viable, but probably more GBP. I do think that all of them need a goal to get to their values. I just want to see what Mahrez's price is. 8,500, Sterling's 8,700, Jesus is 8,200. So yeah, to me, those are all like fine, but I prefer Dybala to all of them. Yeah, and then from the fullback perspective, I already kind of mentioned Cancelo. Walker, in my opinion, is definitely going to be given instructions to play more of a midfield type of role in possession. So again, I'm not that interested. Maybe like as a last man in on Showdown. I haven't looked enough to know my build there. But, for City, it's by far Kevin De Bruyne, then probably Mahrez in terms of your cash plays. And then to me, everybody else is honestly more GPP. Unless you just think City's going to roll, which they very well could. I just don't see it. I think Madrid's a worthy opponent. And then I also just think Pep's going to instruct City to play smart here, just knowing how dangerous Madrid could be. Hey, on the Madrid side of the ball, Toni Cruz is going to be insanely popular. He takes almost every Real Madrid set piece, and for some reason, he is 5,900 on the classic slate. So just expect Toni Cruz massive chalk. I think in GPPs, especially if you think City might take it to them, like he is potentially a very, very good fade. Like he is very oriented on the set pieces, and unless he gets a goal or assist, it's really hard for me to see, an 18 DK floor game for him. That's just not Toni Cruz. But, for cash, you pretty much easily lock in 8 to 10 points here for 5,900, which is hard to not do. The rest of Real Madrid's attackers are very GPP oriented. They're going to have to get goals to get there. Kareem Benzema is by far my favorite. He is the one, most likely to score. And also, I just think that pricing-wise, they kind of screwed up here at 6,800. So I think he may be fairly popular as people's second forward. Just knowing that Madrid needs a goal. With no Sergio Ramos, Benzema will have PKs. And just he's unlike La Liga slates, he's the most expensive forward on the slate. In Real Madrid showdowns, he's like the first or second guy you lock. And so to see him at 6,800 is kind of crazy. You may, if you don't see people with Benzema, you probably see Eden Hazard at 6,700. Obviously, there's more floor on Hazard while there's less goal scoring, but 6,700 for him, assuming that, at this point he's been playing at the end of the La Liga season. I think he's going to be fit for close to 90. So that's a really nice price as well. Rodrigo is going to be a sub risk at 6,600. Find the extra 100 or 200 to get Benzema or Hazard. I think Danny Carvajal is a very fine cash play as a fullback. He is cheap as well. He is only 4,400 when you compare him to the likes of like Danilo at 5K, Cancelo 5,300. Like that just stands out as a great value. And then if for some reason you see Marcelo start at 4,100 on the left, they have Mendy here. Mendy's most likely going to start, but hard to pass on 4,100 Marcelo. Yeah, I think that's Madrid. Well, maybe for showdown, you could play it like this feels like a matchup that Casemiro could show up with some big defensive peripherals with City in possession. He's always a willing shooter, so I think that is fine as well. All right, guys, that is going to do it for the preview. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the football today. We have a classic and then 2 showdowns on DraftKings. FanDuel has the classic as well. I'm going to be covering all of those in our FSI channel. And, once again, could not be happier to see Champions League football back. We have more tomorrow, so make sure that you tune in the morning. I will have a preview for that as well. Once again, Keith, aka Gator Guy 231. I hope you guys have a great day.